Good morning, traders. It's MDB, Modified Darvas Box, coming at you here with another weekend review video. And let's see, it's Saturday, September 7th at 11 a.m. sharp Eastern Time. And, buckle your seatbelts. This video is going to be bearish. There's a lot of bearish signals, so before we get into it, get yourself a cold drink, get yourself a box of tissues in case any tears run down your face. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how the markets have turned and how, what's being signaled and everything like that. Before we get into the charts, for anyone who's never watched one of these videos, I'm an independent trader investor. I've been doing this crap for 26, 27 years. I made my first trade in 1995, and I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot, and I've created my own unique trading system based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Darvas. And I've added elements of the strat strategy as well. You can see it here on my charts, where I've got boxes drawn and then I've got different colors, shading. Everything means something on the charts, But basically I'm looking for signals, and then the signals tells me to get ready and to figure out a plan for how to trade, and then I watch the reaction and you trade the reaction to the signal. Duh, makes sense? Duh? Okay. So that's the good thing about it, is that you don't need to be sitting there in the moment trying to figure out what to do. I've said it before, but you make your money really at night when you're doing your analysis of the charts and situation and all that. You don't make your money during the day. You make it at night when you create your plan as to what you're going to do the next day or the next week, etc. Um, so, and I'll just mention one other thing. Uh, I started off being a can slim trader based on the wonderful book How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. And the reason I developed into more of a Darvas trader is because I struggled with the can slim method. So if you're struggling now with your own strategies, don't hesitate to change things up. Just throw your hands up and say, man, it's not working. It's just not working. I can't figure this out. Honesty is also how you get rewarded. When you say when you don't know, say you don't know. I do that all the time, and I made the switch to a Darvas method back in 2013, and it's made all the difference. So feel free to use any good ideas that come out of this video, and otherwise, away we go. One thing I want to show you before we begin is sentiment. So I did a poll the other day, put it out there. How many people? 58 votes. Okay. I'm not that popular on Twitter, but thank you for voting. And we've got a breakdown here. Who's long? About 37%. Who's short? Only 15. Who's sort of half and half. So, you could bump both of these categories up. But then this one, I don't know what to do. 31%. That was interesting to me, because when you don't know what to do, well, the first thing is don't trade. But maybe after watching this video, you'll have a much better idea of what to do and how to approach things. So let's start here. I've got my stocks in 6 different lists. I move them around all the time. We're going to look at 1 through 4, which is basically indexes and then stuff that's triggered. So we start here with the AMZ, proxy for MLPs that generate income, sideways. As you can see, it's got a Darvas box, it's sideways. ARC, I only keep this around for the colors to demonstrate. For example, yellow bar buy signal, and then reaction, buy the reaction. Blue bar right here means sort of excess exuberism, excess enthusiasm. And it's basically a signal which says, sit up and pay attention. Something happened. On this one, it reacted positively. On this one, it reacted negatively. Okay. Pink is the same as blue, except it's got sort of a bearish tilt. Blues have a bullish tilt. And then you got these orange ones here, which are hammers and shooters. A hammer pattern is, do I have a good one? Right there. And a shooter is an inverse hammer. Basically, one is bullish, one's bearish. So what we can take from this chart, there's the signal, which we got back in July, where everything changed in the market. That's the signal. Everything changed. Sell off, doink, bounce, and now we're coming back down again. Also called a dead cat bounce. But here's the interesting thing. We've got a lot of other factors deteriorating. Oil. Here's my proxy for oil. Sideways, and now Darvas box breakdown. Oil goes down because supply and demand. Well, if oil's down, it means demand for oil's down. Does that mean we're going into a recession? Very much could be. This is evidence that we really actually are. And there was a signal to be prepared, gray inside bar. Inside bars are basically 50-50, and there's the trigger right there. You see the signal? It says, okay, prepare for something. Do I want to take any action? And, you take action when it hits the trigger. That's it. It's as easy as that. Simple. But here we've got a box breakdown, and it's a piece of evidence that confirms that maybe we are heading toward recession. NASDAQ. Remember I talked about the signal just there on the arc chart? Well, there's that signal on the NASDAQ right there. Showed up on the charts plain as day. Now, down, 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 sell, 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 doink, come up, and now back to the dead cat bounce. Rolls over, and now, things aren't looking so hot. My weekly moving average, which I only use just as sort of a red light, green light, it's now, the trend is slowly changing. And, you can see how long this has been bullish. Well, now, trend change. Okay. Ethereum, box breakdown. Boy, crypto's really getting punched in the face. Crypto, I still remember back in May, everyone was so excited at this move right here. Why did it do that? I don't have a clue. But ever since then, down, 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 and now breakdown. That's bearish. FFTY, this is a growth stock proxy. Box breakdown, bearish looking. And look here, struck by all the volume. Sell, sell, sell. Now, granted, buyers came in here. Oh, come on. This can't be that bad. Buy. But look at the next few weeks. Nobody joined them. It's like an infantry officer yells, charge, and nobody goes out of the trenches. So, that's how volume, you got to pay attention to volume. In my opinion, volume is very important. What is this, China? Yeah, that's a little bearish signal right there coming down. Huge Darvas box. I don't really care about China, but, it is what it is. Bitcoin, GBTC, that's a box breakdown moving down. But this proxy is a little flawed. I got a better one in a moment. Gold. The trend is still pretty much up. You had a signal right here, but it didn't really do anything. And, probably because as Congress spends money and things happen to the dollar, gold is looking attractive. And it's been looking attractive, started off right here when it had a box breakout back in March. Before that, it was sort of humble jumble, herky-jerky in there and all that. But ever since then, the trend's been positive. High yield bonds. That there is a box breakout, and this box is over. Isn't that amazing? This box has now ended on a positive note. Now, there's a couple trains of thought on high yield bonds. One, if the Fed's going to cut rates, buy all the high yielding bonds now because you won't make that income in the future. The other supposition is that the economy's overall doing better. And that could be it. Credit conditions are going to get better, fewer defaults. So, buy junk. But it's an interesting sort of signal up to date, and it hasn't really come off. So, yeah, that's actually a feather in the cap of, hey, it's not so bad. Maybe we should stay bullish. Okay. What's this? Insurance. Man, insurance companies are just screwing us all. They keep raising their rates. Home insurance, what was it, California? They raised rates like 30 to 50% or something. I mean, unbelievable. So when they're raising rates and people are paying, what else are they going to do? Yeah, buy insurance. But even then, it's still sold off this last week. I bet. Okay, here's one that I'm using more for Bitcoin. Looky there. Looks like a sideways box range, and now we've got a box breakdown. Volume's a little low, so that's okay, but you know, negative. That's a negative. What do we got? Software. Software has that dead cat bounce look. Drop, doink, up, rebound, rollover. So the thinking is that this may test the lows again. We'll see. Overall sideways, but yeah, it hasn't been doing so good lately. Housing, close the box breakout, but okay, here's a little thing about Darvas boxes is that with a Darvas box, usually if they're going to fail, they'll fail on week 4. So week 1, week 2, week 3, the box closed, and if this is going to fail, it'll probably do it next week. But I don't know. We don't know yet. So if you were long this, I'd be nervous and maybe have a stop ready in here. But it had a strong buy signal there. Okay, but this trade could be over soon. I don't know. We'll see. The whole theory that if the Fed cuts rates, that housing's going to take off again, I don't know if that's true. That's a true theory. I don't know. We'll see. What do we got? Micro caps. That's a bright white bar sell signal. That's the opposite of yellow. Yellow is bullish. The white is bearish. I had to choose various colors to stick out. So some other colors like violet and whatever, yeah, they just didn't look so good. But you know, that's a bearish signal. IWM, sideways, but still coming down. Healthcare. This was interesting because healthcare has been so good, like insurance. They just make so much money because they constantly raise rates because that prick Obama screwed it all up for consumers. But here we go. We got a pink bar sell signal and, you know, some big volume going along with it. This is a signal to sit up and pay attention. If you've been long this, well, maybe things are going to change, but we don't know until next week's reaction. If the reaction is down in here, yeah, maybe you'd set a stop for 64.5, or maybe you make it tight. But if people still want healthcare, if it still looks good, all right, well then the reaction will be benign and there's no need to take any action. I've got, and in the family trust, I've got some of this. So, because I mean, look at this. It's just been going up, up, up. So I'm not overly concerned about this, but well, we'll see. Worst case, we just sell out, sell out a little bit up here. Transports, another pink bar signal. Sit up and pay attention. We've had one back here, and the reaction was it gapped down and then immediately came back up, and then back up into the box. Okay. Well, here's another warning signal. So we'll have to see the reaction to it. And that's a tell on the overall economy. What else we got? Fizz, oh, that's more gold. QQQs. Looks like a dead cat bounce to me. Maybe test the lows here? I don't know. Equal weighted QQQ. Yeah, that's a sell signal. White bar sell signal. Yellow. Yay, we're doing great. Uh-oh. A hammer signal here. And the real watch out is when it undercut the hammer right along that moving average line right there. So this is basically chart interpretation. How do you interpret the action of the stocks you're looking at? RSPs been doing great here, and now whoops, they took it back. But notice here, week 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it didn't crush this breakout. So maybe this is doing okay. You know, doing better than average. Short-term bonds, yep, moving higher. And short-term bonds are moving higher because people are scared. And also maybe inflation is finally coming down. A couple of schools of thought there. Semiconductors. There's that market signal right there. And ever since, does that look like a dead cat bounce? Yep. So semiconductor is not doing so hot. There's the big selling, and the buyers stepped in, but not so much. And ever since then, yeah, no. Charge, yeah, no thanks. Charging machine guns isn't such a good idea if you want to live. S&P 500, same thing, same deal. Signal, pink bar, different signal, came down, went back up, and came back up on a breakout, but now down. So if you compare the two, the NASDAQ to the S&P looks better. But, they're all sort of tied together. So SPY is sort of looking the same way. Sentiment. Okay. Short-term sentiment here is getting pretty bearish. Not ultimate ones, lows like down here, but let's see, let's get the COVID lows right down here. So, yeah, you see all these lower ones, so people aren't panicking yet. I would call this quite concerned, but not a panic at the moment. What is that? That's the stocks with the 200, about 50%. Not too horrible. This one's worse. Stocks above the 40-day moving average. That took a tumble from 60 down to 40. Woof. But not down here in ultimate lows where these can be buying signals down in here. So no extremes there. The tan, the solar, the laughing out loud chart, box breakdown, volume's low, but I don't see the bull case at all. TLTs moving higher. Finally resolved. Yay, we won it. I don't know, man. Not so fast. A few weeks of churning around. Nope, the buyers come back because they're getting scared. The VIX. Here's a reason to be a little nervous. We got a weekly signal right here. An inside week. And look at that explosion higher. Wow. Yeah, market is definitely getting more volatile. And you wonder, did anybody see this coming? Well, yeah, you had a signal right there. You had a trigger right here. And if you went to the monthly chart, I pointed this out many times. There's your signal here on the monthly chart. So crazy move. And now look at the monthly chart going back up again. So yeah, the market is definitely more volatile. So, if you had the magic 8 ball and you give it a shake, it'll come back. All signs point to yes. What do we got? REITs, there's a little bearish bar. Housing, again, poised for that week 4 breakdown. 1, 2, 3, 4. XLE, oil, yeah, that's a negative signal right there. But again, we already saw the chart of the other one of oil, so yeah, these ones aren't, they're going to follow that in a slower manner. Financials, yeah, nothing crazy, no signals there. So that's it for indexes. And let's go down to list 2, which is box breakouts. Okay. You're probably sitting there going, wait a minute, MDB, you said that this is a bearish video. Why are we talking about the breakouts? Well, because it's how I classify stuff. You when certain stocks meet certain conditions, well, then you got to classify it as bullish or bearish. And this is the one problem with the line drawers, like, oh, I draw trend lines, or here, like that. These trend lines are always moving. Yay, it's here. Oh no, now it's here. No, wait a minute. Now it's here. Yeah. I mean, it's just not a consistent method, in my opinion. Whereas this pattern right here, this is a box breakout right here, big volume, had some volatility, but still up. This is a valid in process breakout. Now, do we want to all rush out and buy shares of Bill? Not really here, but you might. But it's keeping an eye on things. That's actually a positive sign. This one right here, BLND, box breakout here. I bought it here. I sold it this week here. I only made a smidge of money, and the real trigger was right there. But I'm an optimist, so and also price on some stuff can move fast. Like you blink, and before you know it, you got to be selling it, or the market sold it down. So no harm, no foul. You walk away. The one thing I always do is I try to make sure I walk away with a profit, even if it's $1. Just make sure you walk away with a profit. Make sure you walk away with something. Just don't lose money. The worst thing would be to buy it here and then sell it like here, because that means I lost money. So just don't lose money. That's the thing. Here we go. Berkshire box breakout. But look here, volume, big green. Yeah, we want it. Oh no, we're selling. So this may put a damper on that. When you get big red followed immediately following a big green, that's the market saying, okay, we've gone sort of far enough, and we'll keep an eye on that. Chewy box breakout. Oh, box breakdown on red volume. This is a dead breakout. And I think Roaring Kitty posted some picture which nobody can seem to figure out what exactly it means. To me, based on this chart, it means, yeah, he bailed. He's done with Chewy. So I'm going to put this on the watching list. Unfortunately, that means our list of breakouts getting smaller. Housing indexes look weak, but DHI looks really strong. DHI looks great. No issues here. Yellow bar signal, big box breakout. There's far worse. LMT, yeah, a little, could be an inverse hammer, but look how great this is. I mean, that's defense. MDB is doing fantastic as usual. Box breakout here with a little pullback. That is absolutely normal. So, there are a few bright spots. MNDY. I thought this might be a pullback buy in here, but look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. This breakout is a failure, and it looks so nice, but this stock is not easy. This one will go onto the watching list. Race Ferrari box breakout. Yeah, pullback, but if you bought it down in here, you're still doing okay. Roku. Not that I'm buying that or that you or anybody I know has bought it, but it is what it is. But set up for maybe a week 4 drop. What would that look like? That'll look like this. But at the moment, it's still doing okay. RDX, still doing okay on that one. Shark Ninja, just great. Look at that. Some selling, but looks like there were buyers looking to buy it. Spotify on the verge of failing this box breakout. I didn't buy it, but it fits the pattern, but it might be gone next week. TKO, yeah, it looks okay. Little pullback here. Upstart. Last week I warned about this candle right there, and whoops. Yeah, that was a pretty prescient warning. So I hope any viewers who remembered that, were able to take action to save profit. But it's still a valid breakout, but man, that's a nasty little pullback. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that. Venom looks great. There's the box breakout. This is an income vehicle. Uh, I've got that in my income portfolio. Walmart, that looks fantastic. If there's a good box breakout, Walmart is it. Look at that. All right, so that's the, if there's a positive silver lining, that's it. Bull signals. Bull signals that showed bullish, but aren't an official box breakout. Right here, I've got a firm listed here with the, big move here. And then what did it do? It pulled it back. It took back half of that move. This doesn't really match any patterns or signals I use. I just listed it as one of the few real bullish things because it doesn't really show any real signals, color signals or anything. I'm going to move this to the watching list. BLDR, this is related to home builders. Week 4, I'd be nervous. This one here, CVLT, it's going to start a new box range, but otherwise no real signals. Put this on the watching list. General Motors, box breakout here. Oops, no longer there. Put it on the watching list. All of a sudden, the list of bullish signals is getting smaller, huh? This one, IoT, this had a great earnings move right there, earnings reaction, excuse me. But it's been a tough trader. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So congrats to anybody who's in it, but it's just so tough. I just watch this one. Now, box breakout, no longer. When it's no longer on here, I move it. Box breakout on this one. And a very volatile week here, but still alive. But week 4, whether this survives week 4, I don't know. I'll leave this on. Roblox, box breakout in here. And note here, the biggest problem on this one, the volume's in the wrong spot. But overall, it still looks pretty decent. So if you bought it on this signal, you're doing great. SE, I own this one. One of the only things I'm long. Bought it right in here. It's still alive, but it's pulled back now 2 weeks. So this is coming off this list on the watching. Uber, box breakout, low volume. Tried to hang around, but no, couldn't do it. Where do you think this one's going? Watching list. URI, box breakout, low volume. Yet couldn't hold up. Back in the box range, back to watching. VRT, I had this as a signal in here. That is an ugly reaction. Watching list. Now Zeta, moving up, and now first real selling in this move here. So some profit takers showed up in here. But is this a reason to sell it? No, it's not. If you bought in here, stay long. I don't own this, but there's nothing wrong with this one. So unfortunately, the bullish signals list shrank a whole bunch. Now let's go to the bearish list. And whoa, the bearish list, look how big this is. Now you've already gotten the gist of stuff that's failed and things like that. Well, there's just going to be a lot of failures on this one. So this is where you might need the tissues to look at. So AAOI, I posted that this was a box breakout, which you saw in here. I bought some and then I sold it and walked away with a few bucks, but nothing earth-shaking. And now this is do you remember from the beginning? It's an inverse hammer. It's a shooter bar. That is a bearish setup. There's the trigger. If you're looking for a bearish trade, well, there's one. Airbnb stayed on this list because of how bad it did. Box breakdown and rolling over. Could this go down to 85? Sure, why not? This one is on the list because bearish shooter, and it triggered and activated not the biggest short at this point. It was a much better short up here. Whoopsie. When I was messing with it around up in here, but it was so just tough to hold. So I made the bulk of the money from here to here, and now I'm not interested in trying that. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. ASTS. It gave you a sell signal right here, which triggered. Then it came back, had 1 or 2 days in there, but now it's ended up even lower with another bearish signal. I'd say this trade is dead. It did have a lovely box breakout launch. Yellow bar, box breakout on huge volume. So this looked fantastic. But there's the market signal. The market said, okay guys, we've gone far enough. Time to take the chips off the table. What's funny is how long traders can't give it up. And they got shaken baked right in here. And look at the signaling here on the daily, just by volume. They decided to take some money off. Nope, take money off. If you play poker, that's the equivalent of somebody check raising, I would say. Broadcom, chips. We saw chips are weak. Broadcom, white bar sell signal. And it's been really a volatile mess all in here. Had a box breakdown, but on low volume, but just volatility everywhere. The bros, they're on this list because of the white bar. Notice how tight this range is getting. There's been no resolution to this, but there will be soon, because that's got a little mini box action going on right there. So I'll keep this on the list for one more week. Caterpillar, box breakdown, volume's low, but yeah, that doesn't look so hot. Kava. I have Kava on this list because of the big sell bar right here. But who knows, maybe it keeps going a little higher. I'll give this one more week because see, you got a signal right here. 50-50. And who knows, it might go up. But I think the fact that money was taken off the table here is something to be aware of. Sell H, I'm short this one. Look, it just keeps going down. This is turning into a home run. How is it I'm still short this even when it's had some green days? Because price hasn't gone higher on the previous bar at all. I mean, look at that, just constant lower lows. When it makes lower lows like that, stay short. Where could this go? Could go what, to 20 bucks? From 70? I'm already up 50% more. So we'll see. Red, 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 red. But that's how you identify, short trades that pay the bills. Bitcoin, doing terrible. I bought a little, I tried it in here, I shorted it in here, it didn't work. Now I put the short on back in and this week, last week, and now it's paid off. Dead cat bounce. Bounce, doink, come up, now roll over. And notice here, the pink bar signaled the trend change on this chart. Before that, it was green, green, green. Yeah, we're working it out. But everything changed this week. And because of how I set my charts up, I saw that. The one thing I regret is I didn't short it up in here. But, I'm a good trader. I'm not a perfect trader. But there's the signal. You can't deny. There's the signal, the reaction. really messed up in here, but yeah, go for it again. And now look, it's paid off. Costco shooter bar right there, triggered lower. Not that this is one you'd want to short, but just signals showed up on the list. Dash, signal, bearish resolution, but volume's low. Not one I would short, but definitely a little bearish. Dell. Okay, I shorted this one because of the whole technology curve, and also because we got a signal right here. When bullish signals fail, it then pays to do the opposite. And because as we've seen these other bearish charts, I wanted more bearish exposure. That was an easy one to pick up on. Volume is low, so we'll see how it goes. ELF, same deal. I was bullish at this one, and then it was like, wait a minute, it's breaking the box here. Bought in the blue, sold it here, and then shorted it a little lower down in here in the 150s. And now look at it, it's at 122. 1 week. And this might go down a lot more because the more I've researched this one, this has some valuation problems. So this could go down a chunk more. But if you're going to short stuff, short the weaklings. Duh. What do we got here? ESTC. Ugh. No position, but look how ugly that is. GE. Great stock, great trend. But if you're just buying it now, well, I don't see why. Box breakout, low volume, week 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how week 4, if the pattern's gonna fail, it'll fail on week 4. End of the lesson. GH, yep, keeps going down. I messed with it here. White bar, shooter bar here, pink bar here, white bar sell signal here. Yeah, this one's just toast. Google, box breakdown. Volume's low though, but that's how the market's going. And look here at this lovely trend, which started back in January. Followed the trend line. And now it's really decisively breaking that trend line lower. Trend's changing, boys and girls. This little one here, pink bar signal down. Who knows? This could threaten these lows. Got another big signal up here. ML, horrible box breakdown, nothing but big red. I made the mistake last week of going long. I rectified the mistake at the beginning, 2 weeks ago. I rectified this mistake on last Monday. And yet prices end up keep going lower. And this actually now looks like it could go lower. We all make mistakes. The key is recognizing when you've made a mistake and then fixing it fast. Microsoft probably gonna test these lows. Netflix, box breakout with an inside week, and what does it do? Triggers to the downside. But nothing too crazy on volume. It's just the way the market's going. Nucor Steel, bearish box breakdown. Look at that. And that's been going down since April. NVIDIA, pink bar signal. I'm short here. Breakdown, and we'll see if this keeps going. I don't know. Pan W. Yeah, you get the point. There's a signal, trigger. Volume's kind of low. Root, box breakdown. Volume's a little low. We'll see. Serve. This one's been going down ever since this trigger line right there. I traded it here. So bullish up until this signal. and now the mojo is gone. Anybody who's still long this, hoping, well, somebody's gonna puke out on this one because we got big green volume here, and so far, no big red. At some point, these longs are gonna puke. So don't do anything, just wait. SG, remember I talked about the signal and then a failure? When a signal fails to the downside, that's pretty bad. Down, down. So, there it is. SMCI. When was the time to short this or bet against it? Well, right here. Did I do it? No, because it's just a wicked mover. But we should have. There's a signal, a reaction. Now it's 50, well, almost 50% lower. Snow, pink bar signal. I shorted it in here. I traded it, shorted a couple times, but now I'm still short it. And it's going down, threatening the bottom edge of the box. This one's interesting because each day some longs show up buying, but I'm like, they're just wasting money. At some point, they're going to run out of bullets, and then when the big buyer leaves, it's going to get ugly. Here's the monthly chart. Big box right here, just beginning to break down. You see the Bollinger Bands are expanding. You had two bearish signals in a row up in here. That's institutional investors just wasting clients' money, in my opinion. The Stinger, box breakdown. This one here. So bullish, but there's that inside bar with a bearish resolution. You get the point. Weatherford, oil equipment. Woof. Damn. Big drop here. Hardly any bounce in here. And look at that. Big box breakdown there. And the trend was so good on this for so long. Started back in 2022. Trend up. Well, a little stuff. But now, would you agree that this trend has changed? I think you'd say yes. And we're almost done here. Yeah, Signal, little internet guy, or miner, whatever they do. Nothing too crazy, but just why would you be buying it now? It gave you I don't know, man, 50-50, and it broke downwards because the market's going down. There's no trade there. Zim, shipping, box breakdown. Last one, ZS. Huge box range. I shorted it a couple times in here. Got all maybe potential, and now they just reported. And woof. White bar sell signal. Broke the lower edge of the box. Easy to place a short on. And in this environment, who knows where this is going? Down to 100 maybe? So that's how I get paid during bear markets. I short the weaklings, and I decrease my long exposure. Like I said, I've only got one long, and I've got a whole bunch of shorts, and they're all paying off. So, that's how you make money. Am I going to get rich off shorting? That doesn't really happen. But keeping my account growing, that's the whole point. So you've seen all sorts of bearish stocks in here. I'd say a good consensus move is maybe we should be buying at this point. And we've got a Fed meeting coming up where they're going to cut rates. And we've got to be real careful because this could either accelerate, but who knows? We don't know the reaction. So we shall see. Okay, so that's it for charts. Let's do a quick thing I want to show you. We talked about sentiment. Drop here from 80. Let's see, here's the dip. We started at 83, 75, 56. Now the bounce, and now we're coming back down again. But sentiment in the 70 range, that's still not crazy. 103 is crazy, in my opinion. But that's around when did the NASDAQ signal? That was the week of July 12th. So we hit 100 and then sentiment in here. So 193. Yeah, that's food for doing that. So we got sentiment there. We've looked at the sentiment here. So now the 30% of you that said, I don't know what to do, well, maybe this video has helped you figure out what to do. Oops, I forgot there's a couple of responses in here also. Cart. Oh, I've never heard of this one. Let's see. That's a weekly. Well, just by seeing it, I'd probably call it something like that. Because off this bottom, it's struggling off the bottom here. No, that's a failure right there. So I would list it here. And then this is just sort of wishy-washy. Yeah, I had a little signal here, but I don't see anything there. Let's look at the monthly view. Here's how I would draw this on the monthly. The high to the low. Yeah, monthly, that's a box range. But I've never heard of this one before. What's next? Oh, Reddit. Let's look at Reddit here on the monthly. Okay, this is starting to form a box range on the monthly, like so. Let's look at it on the weekly. Weekly, there's not much here. We got an inside week, so this is 50-50. Could go up, could break down. My guess would be down, but I don't know, we'll see. But I don't really see a trade here until this resolves. What's next? GEVD? What is that? I don't have that on my list. GEV. Yeah, it's not in there. Well, if it's a little guy, then yeah, I won't have it. DLR, let's take a look. Digital Realty Trust. Interesting. Well, that's a nice little trend. Look at that weekly trend there. As far as a box, probably call it something like that. And then a prior would probably be off here. Yeah, that looks about right. So this one actually looks pretty good for a slow mover. It's a REIT. Yeah, that looks pretty good. How much does this pay? $320? I'm going to put this on my income list for further research. Let's look at it on the monthly. Wow, look at that dip. So it's been coming all the way back, and look, there's two bull signals, buy signals in a row there. So yeah, if you bought this, well, you're doing great. You made 40% plus income. That would have been a great income one off of that. So right now, and now look right here, this could be construed, there's a couple of signals and maybe a box range like that. So this one might not be going higher, but I don't know. But one to keep an eye on in the future. All right, so that's it for viewer requested charts. One last thing I want to mention is S&P valuation. So we went out here at 54.08. We've got numbers as of August 30th. I'm waiting for new numbers to come out. The S&P is just about 100% reported. And, the forward growth looks great. The problem, and this is probably why the market is so vulnerable, even at Friday's closing, PEs are just too high. 25, 27. Forward PEs are a little better at 24 to 22, but use my handy chart here for the PE ranges. Above 25, that's a bubble. Right? Valuations have been pushed so high, it's incredible. So yeah, any weakness coming from the Federal Reserve or even the hints of recession, well, it makes the market vulnerable to going down. This is an expensive market. And even on a forward rate, 20 to 24, strong. Well, if we match that up here, this is a monthly chart. Yeah, this is strong, but maybe a little too strong. Basically, it's being priced for perfection. So, yeah, we could come down easily and valuations would just normalize a little bit. What if we went down to 5,000? Well, now we're back here, but we're still very high. 5,000, that's doable. We'd still be looking fine. So this is why the market is a little vulnerable and why I don't feel so bad being short a whole ton of stuff. I'm not expecting a market wipeout, but we could easily go down just to normalize. These ranges are abnormal. A more normal range that we've had since 2018 or whatever, 22, 23, 18, 17, 16, 15. So you see, when you compare to what we're at, that tells me we need to be a little conservative. So watch the signals, pay attention to what the market's doing, and try not to lose money. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great week in this trading week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, bye-bye.